bakit daw napakababa ng ating requirements para dun sa mga mamumuno sa ating bansa. Mayroon nga akong nakausap na ang sitting mayor daw nila ay grade 3 lang ang natapos. Of course, we want the best quality candidates sa ating mga sa atin dito sa bansa, and especially in our districts and our cities. Pero sinasabi na, however, ang problema nga is that the purpose kung bakit halos wala tayong ibang qualifications na like college graduate or anything like that is because we want wider representation. Bakit pa rin walang educational attainment na naging bahagi ng requirements? Kasi nga, hindi naman kailangan yan para makaboto, and even more, we want as wide a representation as possible. Kung mayroon tayo mga leaders na hindi nakakapagtapos, then this is the reason why we have to have candidates who can address precisely that problem. Yung mga bakit hindi nakapagtapos itong kandidatong to, itong official na ito, mayroon bang pagkukulang yung sistema na pwedeng i-correct by creating the proper laws. Ang ating topic for today, apat, no? The candidacies, si Attorney Harry, yung airport, at saka, well, just on a personal note, si Belly, who many of you would see online nung pag nagla-live tayo, no? And it's, just to update you about dun sa nangyari. All right, so what are the qualifications for persons who are running for Senate? For senator, what are the qualifications? You have to be a natural-born citizen. Anong ibig sabihin pag natural-born citizen? It means you have not done any additional matter or legal matter para kayo po ay maging citizen. So kung pinanganak kayo of Filipino parents, then you're automatically a Filipino citizen and natural-born kasi wala po kayong ginawa na additional para kayo ay makonsider na citizen. Ano pa? Well, may iba na they nag-apply sila for instance ng dual citizenship or nag-apply sila ng citizenship in another country and they've sworn allegiance to that other country o sumali sila sa military ng ibang bansa. So they're considered to have renounced their Philippine citizenship. When you apply for your dual citizen, you are reinstated or parang deactivated yung citizenship, no? And you're still considered a natural-born citizen. Parang reacquisition kasi siya. So according to the law on reacquisitions of citizenship, then natural-born citizen pa rin po kayo. Sabi ni I cannot understand the name, dual passport, pwede ba magboto both countries pag babae po? Well, actually, the gender doesn't matter. Kung po kayo ay nag-reactivate nga and nag-reacquire ng Philippine citizenship, then yes po, pwede naman po yun. Ang dual passport naman ay ina-allow. Ina-allow nga natin ang dual citizenship. Ang binabawal po is dual allegiance. So kung halimbawa, sumali ka na ng military sa ibang bansa, then kinoconsider natin na kayo po ay doon na sa bansa na yon and your allegiance is owed to that country. Kasi being in the military means you become an agent of that state, an agent of that country. So, tataka lang ako bakit ang hina ng mga wala ba tayong sa... Okay, we're live naman po dun sa ating YouTube, di ba? I-double check ko lang po kasi nagtataka ko bakit walang comments doon sa ating YouTube channel. So, double checking po. Okay, and we are live. So, gusto ko lang makita kung bakit walang comments dun sa Usually very active kasi ang comments sa ating YouTube. Bakit ganun? Okay. Pasensya na po din na double check ko lang po kung tayo po ay nakapag-live doon sa sa YouTube natin. Okay. Meron naman po. Okay naman po. Hindi ko lang nakikita sa aking StreamYard. So, yun, magandang gabi para din sa mga nanonood sa atin sa YouTube. Magandang gabi kay Glenda Garado. Sabi niya, what's the update po sa PDP senatorial lineup? Kasama po ba kayo ni Atty. Vic at ni Kong Marcoleta? Sa totoo lang po, I'm not privy yet because wala pa po akong natatanggap na notice ng resulta ng executive committee meeting. So ayun na po, active na po ang ating motion. Ako naman po yata ang may problema. Sorry naman po. Okay. So marami po ngayon ang nanonood sa atin sa Facebook dun sa personal account ko because I'm using it for the first time on this live. So kung mayroon pong nanonood na hindi sanay dito sa aming mga diskusyon, magtanong lang po kayo and we will answer as much as we can. But remember na marami din pong nagtatanong. So ano ang ibang qualifications? So natural born citizen of the Philippines. Kailangan po kayo ay registered voter. Kaya every time bago po how do you call this, mag-election, ay merong mga voters registration or reactivation ng mga voter status natin. Para nang sa gayon ay makapag-boto ang lahat. If hindi po kayo nakaboto for 2 consecutive national elections, hindi counted ang elections, then mai-inactive yung status po ninyo as a voter. And so, during the registration period, pwede po ninyo i-reactivate yan. Unfortunately, tapos na po yun. It ended on September 30. Ano pa? Able to read and write. Now, ginagawa itong basihan para sabihin na bakit daw napakababa ng ating requirements para dun sa mga mamumuno sa ating bansa. Mayroon nga akong nakausap na ang sitting mayor daw nila ay grade 3 lang ang natapos. Of course, we want the best quality candidates sa ating mga sa atin dito sa bansa and especially in our districts and our cities. Pero sinasabi ng however, ang problema nga is that the purpose kung bakit halos wala tayong ibang qualifications na like college graduate or anything like that is because we want wider representation. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Dapat walang hadlang sa capability natin bumoto kasi in order for you to be a candidate, you must be a voter in good standing. So yung voter in good standing, means that yun nga, ready ka na bumoto. Kaya matatanggal yung voter in good standing status mo pag ikaw po ay may tinatawag na disqualification, pwedeng temporary disqualification or perpetual disqualification, usually imposed dito bilang penalty for criminal acts. May some of the crimes, temporary lang yung disqualification. Sometimes 6 years, mga ganun, hindi ka pwede bumoto and therefore hindi ka pwede tumakbo. Pero pag doon sa iba naman, pwedeng permanent disqualification habang buhay na yun. Bakit pa rin walang educational attainment na naging bahagi ng requirements? Kasi nga, hindi naman kailangan yan para makaboto and even more, we want as wide a representation as possible. Kung mayroon tayo mga leaders na hindi nakakapagtapos, then this is the reason why we have to have candidates who can address precisely that problem. Yung mga bakit hindi nakapagtapos itong kandidatong po, itong official na ito? Mayroon bang pagkukulang yung sistema na pwedeng i-correct by creating the proper law? Next. Kung senator, you have to be at least 35 years old on the day of elections. Pero kung congressman, 25 years old. At least 25 years old on the day of elections. For local government, at least 23 years old on the day of elections. For party list representative, 25 at least on the day of elections. Namiss ako. For all president, senator, congressman, party list, pag local government po, hindi nire-require na natural born citizen. Which means you can actually accept possibly naturalized citizens para maging local government representatives or local government officials natin. So for all of them, yun nga, yung age requirement, it varies, 35 on the day of elections pag senators, pag congressmen 25, pag party pati pag party list 25 rin po, pag local government 23. Tapos for all the positions able to read and write. Tapos all of them then required na registered voter. Ngayon, for senators, you have to be a resident of the Philippines for at least 2 years prior, 2 years immediately preceding the election. So 2 years prior to sabi ni, so pwede si Alice po. I actually looked at it. Ang ginagawang issue kay Alice po is supposedly the falsification of her certificate of candidacy because she asserted Filipino citizenship. Ang sinasabi nila is hindi siya Filipino citizen at the time she filed her certificate of candidacy. However, kung naturalized citizen siya, allowed siya maging mayor. And yun nga, ang minimum requirement is 23 years old. So tama po kayo dyan. Ang nakalagay po is citizen of the Philippines. Yun lang po ang requirement under the Local Government Code and under BP 52, which set it in 1980. So, di ba? So party list nga pala, at the day of elections, you have to be at least 25 years old. Pero pag youth sectoral representative, you cannot be more than 30 years old on the day of election. Okay? So malinaw na po ba? Pagka-congressman, you have to be a resident of the district that you have to be a registered voter in the district where you're going to run. Pag local government, registered voter ka in the municipality or barangay or wherever that you are going to run. Pagka-congressman, you have to be a resident of not less than 1 year immediately preceding the election. Pag senators, resident of the Philippines at least 1 year prior to elections. Pag congressman, at least 1 year. 2 years senators, 1 year pag congressman in the district where they're going to run. Pag local officials, 1 year din po. Immediately preceding the election day. Okay. Malinaw po ba yung mga requirements ng mga or qualifications, of candidates for eligibilities nila. Ngayon, during elections, syempre meron dyan ng mga hindi nila gusto yung natumakbo, this or that person. Yung iba kasi ayaw nilang tumakbo, so they try to have the people disqualified kapag para manalo yung kandidato nila. Diba? I mean, this is fairly common. So, paano yung disqualification? Well, like I said, disqualification pertains to whether or not you have some kind of civil interdiction. A civil interdiction means na hindi ka disqualified because of a crime. So, yun. Sabi ni Lito, how about si Tulfo na may libel case? Does it mean hindi siya pwedeng tumakbo sa pagkasenador? It means disqualified dapat siya. Kasi kung pag libel cases po, you are disqualified for 5 years from the day, 5 years from the day that the decision has become final. So kung kunwari, the decision became final the day before he filed his certificate of candidacy, disqualified na dapat siya for 5 years. He can be reinstated after 5 years. He can run after 5 years. Now, ano nangyari doon? Bakit nakatakbo siya? Apparently, may nag-file ng disqualification niya in the COMELEC, tapos natalo. Nag-motion for recall, hindi pa nanalo. Despite the fact na malinaw na may disqualification siya. So tumuloy yung election. Since hindi ito naging pre-proclamation controversy, ang susunod na punta kung gustong i-file yung kaso or ipa-disqualify si Senator Tulfo, you have to go to the Senate Electoral Tribunal. So yun po, sa mga katanungan tungkol kay Raffy Tulfo, yun po. Yung kay Erwin Tulfo, I think there were several issues. One was the disqualification nga. Meron din po siyang libel. Hindi natin alam kung tapos na yung 5-year period. Pero meron din pong ibang mga issues about his citizenship or his allegiance. Sabi ni Talay, convicted si Castro sa Supreme Court, paano pwede siya mag-file? Sir, iba po ang convicted, it's a convicted by final judgment. Naka-appeal po ang kaso niya. And therefore, pag may appeal, hindi po nagiging final yung decision. Kailangan matapos. Kailangan may judgment din sa Court of Appeals. Pero pag yan ay inakyat uli sa Supreme Court, again, hindi pa magiging final. Naku, Diyos me, ang set. Nagtatakipan lang ang mga senador natin doon. Walang silbi. I agree. But that's what they did. Nag-ano sila. It was strategic na they fight it very, very hard dun sa COMELEC para yung decision will be dismissal and it will be harder to go to the Senate. At magtatagal yun. Diba? Sa amin ni Antonio, si Bong Revilla at si Jinggoy nakulong pa dahil sa pila pumakbo ng senador nanalo pa. Kaya po kasi hindi final yung kanilang conviction. Ulitin ko ha, huwag niyo pong iisipin na yung conviction na yun ay final. Hindi pa po. Bakit di po nakulong si Franz Castro? Well, nakapag-file siya ng bail pending appeal at ginrant po ito ng judge. Ang iba pong kaso, tama po kayo, after na-convict ng RTC or ng MTC, makukulong muna kahit nakaapila ang kaso nila. But all the accused, except kung may capital punishment ang penalty, ay maaaring mag-file ng bail pending appeal. Ang penalty po kasi yung kaso ni Franz Castro, maikli lang, less than 6 years po. Ang pagkakaintindi ko. 4 to 6 years po ang kanyang penalty. And therefore, inalaw ng judge. Actually, hindi po ako agree dito. Sabi ni Truth or Lies, dapat talaga may kaso kahit hindi convicted, bawal muna tumakbo sa kahit anong posisyon habang hindi pa na-clear ang name niya. Yan dapat ang gawa ng amendment. Ako ay disagree, sir. Kasi babanggayan doon sa constitutional guarantee that no person may be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the process of law. Alam nyo, delikado yung ganyan. Let's say yung kandidatong gusto mo, let's say si Inday Sara ang tumakbo. File sila ng kaso. File. Kahit yung mga pipitsugin na kaso. Tapos, sa kasamaang palad, because of pressure, ma-convict siya. It can happen to the people that we side with also. So the best thing that you want for the justice system is for it to be fair. Kung may sa iyo mangyari yan, then of course you would want to be eligible pa rin for public office kasi nga hindi ka naman convicted by final judgment. Unfair yan. Kasi ang mangyayari, magpapadisqualify tayo ng mga kandidato kahit finailan mo lang ng kaso at hindi pa sila guilty. So by the mere of filing a case, you can have a person disqualified. Ang daming mapapawalan yan. So, ako disagree. Yes. Ito, ni naalala ko yung lumang reklamo noon, relevant pa rin dito. Samantalang mga ordinaryong mamamayan pipila sa NBI para makapagtrabaho. I agree. Imagine niyo, no, pipila ka sa NBI, kukuha ka ng clearance, kaso ka, yung mga reputable companies, ayaw ka ng tanggapin. Ay, sabi ni Madara, si Erwin Tulfo di makakatakbo ng senador dahil guilty pa rin sa kaso niya ng 2008. Depende po kung kailan naging final yung decision. Kung naging final ang decision after so many appeals, recently lang, 5 years lang po kasi, pag libel, Yes, sabi ni Andre, di po ba dapat ang nagtanggal ni Franz Castro sa Kongreso po ay ang HOR Ethics Committee? Yes po, HOR talaga po yan. Ay, pero alam mo, asa pa. Ma'am Flavie says, pwede po ba yung sinabi ng COMELEC na di na pwede yung substitution kagaya dati ng kay Tatay D? Well, dapat kasuhan sila. At totoo lang, ang COMELEC nag-flip-flop yan eh. Halimbawa, sabi nila, gagawin nilang premature campaigning. Pag nakafile ka na ng certificate of candidacy, hindi ka na pwedeng magkampanya until the next year. Pero mukhang binawi na nila yung rule yan. I have to make sure, pero I heard na binabawi na nila yung rule na yun. O, di ba kalo? So, kapag hindi pa guilty by final judgment, maaari namang isulong sa House Ethics Committee yung kina Congresswoman Franz Castro para sila po ay matanggal or masuspindi muna sa Kamara. Sabi ni Oding, naglahad na po si Congressman Marcoleta sa kanyang pagtakbo sa Senado. Sana po tatakbo na rin kayo, kailangan po namin kayo doon sa Senado. Mas mabuti kasi kung abogado na, may malasakit pa sa bayan, may sapat na kaalaman sa batas, yun ang kailangan namin, hindi yung basta sikat lang. Sikat nga, hindi naman parang gumawa ng batas, ng marakot na. Wala akong masabi. Maraming salamat po sa tiwala ninyo sa akin. Pero hindi po ako sure kung ito po pinararapat po na pagmumay para dyan. May oras pa naman pag-isipan natin. Alam ko po yung aking mga limitasyon. Which brings us to the next topic, candidates, di ba? Natutuwa naman ako na sinasabi ninyo na maaari akong tumakbo, na baka may pagkakataon akong manalo, and so on. And that you feel that I have the qualifications to run. Maraming salamat po. Natutuwa naman din po ako at nagpapasalamat ako sa tiwala ninyo. Gayunpaman, ang mahalaga natin makita is that our candidates are not alone. So, because especially kung Senate and Congress, tatandaan po ninyo na ang Senate at Congress are collegial institutions. Ibig sabihin, para may magawa sila, kailangan po na marunong silang kumikayat para may magboto para sa mga gusto nila, para dun sa mga nila, sa mga sinusunod nilang legislation o mga resolution. Pero, kung hindi, ang mangyayari niyan, may heartache. Halimbawa, nandiyan ako, wala naman tayong kakampi. I can try my hardest, but if yung gusto natin against the flow of the greedy majority, then baka walang mangyari at masasayang lang yung ating effort. So, what is important is we vote for everyone that we want. At saka sana we go for really strong candidates who can deliver our yung mga aspirations natin. Sabi ni Madara, 2025 pwede na daw bumoto gamit ang cellphone nang parang ang hirap magtiwala pag nangyari yon. Dahil meron nakakapag-register ng SIM kahit pa ng hayop ang gamit. I agree po. And right now, dapat ang sinusulong natin ay yung yung modified na voting system na dating sinusulong ni Attorney Glenn Chong para mayroon parating hard copy of what the true count is. Sabi ni True Replies, kung hindi man this coming elections, 2028 siguro. Yun, baka pwede pa. Baka by the time ready na tayo, if ever. At kung sa tingin ninyo, nararapat pa rin at that time. Diba? Ito mas maganda. Maganda itong suggestion ni Ma'am Mose. Sabi niya, sana in aid of legislation ang kaso ni Castro in revising eligibility requirements to have serious charges expedited for judgment before running for office. Yan, I agree with that one. Yung dapat mag-signify. Halimbawa, your intent to run for office and you believe that the case is Sean's case, then ma-expedite yung mga magpa-speedy trial of steroids, di ba? Sabi ni Tony, file ka lang, hayaan mo lang kung manalo ka, huwag kang mangamba niya. Unfortunately, it will affect your chances in a future election. Marami po sa ating mga kababayan, gawa na rin ng shortcuts or yung kahiligan mag-shortcuts. May mga tao na once you lose an election, already post to your record, tapos sasabihin nila, baka hindi yan manalo, natalo na nga yan in 2025. Yan. So, hindi natin po gusto yung mga ganyan. Can we take a class action suit against private companies that are abusing ownership of their utilities and essential services like price increases in NAIA now? Sige, let's go to that. That will be our next topic. So, NAIA, nag-increase po ang presyo, ang fees. But you don't have all the facts yet. I've been gathering the facts on that one. Ako kasi, given the weirdness of government service lately, halimbawa, yun na nga, yung airport, bumalik ang laglag pala, nagkakaroon na naman ng mga milagro sa X-ray and so on. So I was one of those who welcome yung pag-take over ng, bali new NAIA, ang company, new NAIA Corporation, NNIC, or something like that. And it is basically San Miguel. The reason I welcome it is because it will feed into the new Manila International Airport, which will be in Bulacan, which is being built as we speak in Bulacan. So, ma-organize pati yung Bakit importante yun? Yung mga nasa Metro Manila will supplement the flights that are landing in Bulacan. And that way, pagka may mga delays and so on, mas madali yung coordination between two airports and the airlines will have a much easier time, adjusting. So, may flight delays, may mga issues, and so on. Plus, San Miguel is also with the NNIC, is also willing to undertake yung paggawa ng necessary infrastructure such as but not limited to express lanes on the highways or even railway transport between the NAIA and the Bulacan New Manila International Airport. Now, let's go into that into the issue of increased parking fees. Okay. So, I was able to get the facts behind this. So, first of all, I used to use the overnight parking dyan sa NAIA. Tandaan po natin, ang nag-increase talaga drastically is the overnight parking. So, yung sinasabi nyo na, bakit ang laki from something like what? 150 to 1,200. Yan po yung mga overnight parking. Doon po sa NAIA parking, kasi ginagamit ko yan. Mura talaga yung overnight parking. Pero, nung umpisa, it was so easy for me to use it. Mas madali para sa akin. I would drive myself to the airport, get on a plane, go wherever. And then when I come back, hindi na ako magta-taxi. I can drive myself home. Unfortunately, dahil napakamura yung presyo ng mga parking doon, pati akong nauubusan. Hindi na ako makapag-park. And so, I had to go back to having a driver or taking a cab or taking a grab to the NAIA. Or magpapahatid na naman ako. This way, hindi mauubusan ng parking. Kasi the reason mauubos yung parking, yung mga nasa nearby establishments, doon po ginagamit nila yung parking ng airport dahil nga napakamura. So, pagka maraming gumagamit rin po kasi ng parking area na yon, nagkakaroon ng congestion doon sa nag-aantay ng parking. Kasi nakapila sa labas ng parking. So, parang it's a way to manage it. It isn't just about the money. It's about decongesting the limited parking. Halimbawa, tingnan nyo, sa Terminal 3, yung parking design capacity niya is only for 3,779. Pero from January 2024 up to the present, 215,859 ang nag-park doon, which is an average of 7,196 daily. Over 500 of these vehicles were overnight or long-term parking, pero hindi naman sila sa airport. Hindi sila pasahero. So what we want to do is to have the airport for airport users, pati yung airport parking for airport users. Ngayon, yung sinasabi ninyo, class action suit against private companies, a class action suit will not apply. Kasi the reason nakaka-class action suit is if you are all similarly situated, except if you have a contract. Ngayon, if you are filing suit against the airport as somebody who is parking, then your parking ticket, that is your contract. So, then you file on the basis of your contract. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-class action suit. Sabi niyo, pwede ba yun mag-file ka for senatorial position tapos mag-back up kung hindi nyo talaga gusto? At least naka-file na. Eh di lalo kayo nagalit sa akin, di ba? If I'm going to do something, I will not do it halfway. Hindi pwede yung tatakbo ka, hindi ka ready, hindi ka gumawa ng alam mo yan, hindi ka nakapaggawa ng network mo, hindi ka pa nakaikot, hindi ka pa and, we don't also run in the mere expediency. If we're going to run, we're going to run and we're going to run well. We're going to mount a full campaign where we are prepared and we will plot and we will plan and we will do all of that. So I assure you, if I do run for a national office like that, maaga pa lang alam na ninyo. Pero ayusin natin yung tanong ng kay Gallows God. Kasi ang tinatanong niya is abusing ownership of utilities and essential services like the price increases in the EA now. So for me, let's see first. Unang-una, and by the way yung increase in parking wasn't the new NAIA. It was agreed upon by the Manila International Airport Authority before they turned over to San Miguel. Kung hindi po ako kakamali. Kasi nakita ko yun that there was so primarily, hindi ko mahanap yung I saw that fact sheet which included the approval of the increase in parking fees prior to the turnover of San Miguel in September. Sabi ni LG para attorney, kulang ang congressman, nakapartido si FPRD, kulang number na, need natin ng party list congressman. Well, I agree with that one, but there are other strategies for getting that. I assure you, we are looking at also other strategies to help mitigate yung stranglehold ng lakas doon sa Kongreso. So, at least yun is Kumar. Marcos must have been given a chance kasi nayang nila thinking that they would live forever like the matandang oligarchs who are human. Agree? Yag says, nangangampanya na po ako para sa iyo, mga kaibigan, relatives, lahat po nakilala ko. Ikaw and Attorney Marcoleta po talaga, idol ko. Gusto ko makita kita sa Senado at makikinig lagi ako sa hearing kasi marami kaming natututunan sa inyo. Oy, na-touch naman ako. Maraming salamat po. Alam niyo po ba sinasabi ni Pebble sa isang vlog na babalik ka din daw sa kampo nila BBM? No, she never said that, Key. Okay. And please don't go spreading fake news. That is not true. Walang sinasabi si Pebbles na gano'n. What she said is, babalik siya sa pagka-BBM. And no, she never said that. Alam ko na hindi yan totoo kasi nga, we are still friends, kami ni Pebbles, and I know she had gotten back from Thailand recently. You know, she never said that. Ever. Totoo po kayo. So, huwag po ganyan. Huwag niyo namang iisipin na hindi kami nag-uusap ni Pebbles. Alam naman po namin. Alam ko rin yung kanyang pinagdadaanan. So, and alam ko kung bakit ayaw na niya at gusto niyang bumalik sa BBM side. Well, I think that she has gone through a lot of headache. And I don't blame her for anything like that. So, may mga naninira lang kasi akala nila tatakbo ako ng senador. So, kaya may mga lumalabas na ganyan. But no, Pebbles never said na babalik ako sa BBM side. Okay? Hindi po ganon. Hindi naman po ganyan. Mapapagkamalan talaga po kayong troll yan. Kasi it is so obviously not true. Siguro even if you knew a fraction of of how I take a stand, then hindi mo masasabi yan. Yung mga kliyente ko were on trial for mutiny and for coup d'etat. In the 5 years that I represented them pro bono, hindi ko sila iniwan. Even if at the time hinahassle ako ng government forces, they were spreading lies about me, there were attempts to disappear me, to do all of that. Hindi nila ako natinag. And in the end, na ipanalo ko yan because I believed in that case. Because I believed at that time, I believe and I still do, na tama po yung pinaglalaban nila. Nakikilaban din po ako. And so if you know how I dig in and take a stand, you would never have asked that. And yung mga nag-a-attempt na manira, it is clear that they have an agenda. They want to stop me from running. Eh, syunga-syunga lang naman din po, lalong-lalo na kung, di ba, if they had just waited long enough, then they would have seen that I'm not running. Meantime, dito naman, huy, merong ang pangalan ni Kawai. At sabi niya, tama na ang puta. Alam mo, Kawai, siguro merong tawag sa'yo na hindi ko lang pwedeng gamitin dito kasi baka sabihin na pinupuli kita. Pero, the truth is, pupunta ka sa isang live, tapos sasabihin mo, tumigil magputak. Eh, yun yung problema mo, you don't understand what a live is about. So, ikaw na naliligaw dito, chupi na. Kasi, you know what, we don't mind if you ask questions. We don't even mind when you challenge what we're saying here. Kasi hindi naman po kami katulad ninyo, nasarado ang isip, and it's a dangerous combination of being ignorant and close-minded at the same time. Ibig sabihin, kahit paano, hindi ka aasenso at hindi ka tatalino. Sabi ni Pats Pebbles Plans, oh no, that's so impossible that Attorney Trix is going to be BBM side. Ganito yun eh. The reason we were on BBM side, aside from the fact that I know him personally and he asked for help during the last admin, is that he led us to believe that he was pro Duterte, that he was in there for continuity, and that he was going to take care of VP Inday. Kasi yun naman talaga yung press release nila eh. So, budol talaga. And going to that side as opposed to going for VP Inday, medyo I don't blame Pebbles at all because meron siyang pinagdaanan. Iintindihan ko po yun. And that while we remain friends, unfortunately, I have no intention of joining that side. I suspect that maybe there is something much, much deeper here than we are seeing. So I would like to reserve judgment. It doesn't mean that, that their side, the BBM side, gets a free pass from me. No. But, I know how to respect the views of my friends. And I'm still friends with so many people with opposing political beliefs. The one thing good, though, about them is that they don't take our politics so seriously that they will affect personal relations.